welcome to another episode of Story Behind the Collector. I'm Will Sellenrod from Collector Chassis, and today we're going to interview Brian. He's got a just outstanding collection of Porsche, and we'll bring him in a minute. But if you're a Porsche lover, these are truly spectacular cars, and we look forward to talking to Brian. So Brian, would you like to come in and introduce yourself, and we can talk about your wonderful collection here?
Yes. Thank you guys for coming by.
Sure.
So this is a 2018 GT3 Touring 991 model. This is actually my fourth Touring that I've ever had. I started with a olive green Touring. I then moved into a Irish green Touring. I then moved into a signal green Touring. And I missed Irish green, so I found this car out in LA. Different Irish green, bought it again. This car is a true kind of subdued racer. Obviously with the Touring we're avoiding the wing. It's kind of a subtle classic look.
So this Touring, can you tell our audience a little bit about the Touring and where
Sure.
it fits in the Porsche lineup?
Yeah, a lot of people always ask about Tourings. They're like, is it as quick as the winged car? It's exactly the same
And
as
the
the
wing car is the GT.
GT3.
Okay.
So this is just a GT3 Touring. And it was back in 2018, 2019, with the only 2 years they made this car, it was actually a option. It was a no-cost option. So you literally check the box for Touring, they didn't charge you extra. Things, I don't know whether it's still a no-charge option in the new generation, but nonetheless, this was a no-charge option, and I loved the fact that this was, a real subtle sleeper, but an unbelievable driver.
So if this were a GT3, then you'd have the typical wing on the back, right?
Yeah.
And what other noticeable things
Sure.
would there be?
So basically, the only difference between this car and the winged GT3 is, the non-spoiler. We've got a chrome surround here. You can go black or chrome. This car came with chrome, which I love, and I've done some customization to it. It's got the lightweight bucket seats, which people really enjoy. It really keeps you snug and tight in your car. Irish green was the same color that the factory produced for the millionth Porsche 911. And they had done some gold badging, they had done some mahogany on the interior, so I mimicked that on this car by having the Porsche in the rear plated gold, adding the 911
Yeah, this looks
badging.
nice back here.
Yep, so that was kind of my ode to the millionth 911. I had done that with my prior Irish green Touring as well, and I kind of wanted to do it again, so we've got that going on, which is really, really cool.
So it's more like a subtle gentleman's race car.
100%. As I mentioned, I think I may have mentioned, this car should come with a smoking jacket and a pipe, and you're in business. But it's really, the color is unbelievable, and it changes a bit even in the sunlight. It looks dark at night, and it gets a lot brighter during the day. I absolutely love Irish green. It's
Well,
one
let's
of my
look at the
favorites.
interior. You were telling us about that.
Yeah. So the interior has the lightweight buckets, which we've talked about. I added the yellow seat belts through Porsche. Everything that's done to this car is all factory. So the only thing that's not factory is I did the P1 design seat inserts, which I just thought were like perfect for this car. The mahogany surround, the mahogany shift knob, I added all OEM stuff.
Yeah, I always like the combination of the leather and the cloth. It's just such a nice combination. You get that plaid fabric in there. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it just, when I saw it available, I said this is perfect. And it really, really, really kind of finishes the interior.
Yeah,
So,
and when I look at your console there, I see a manual shifter. So
Right.
you're a manual guy.
Correct. And all GT3 Tourings in 18 and 19, and still to this day, only come in a manual transmission. The 18 and 19 GT3 winged cars had the PDK option. I'm a true enthusiast. I know there's a lot of other true enthusiasts out there. I was always a 3-pedal guy. I'll always be a 3-pedal guy. All my cars are 3 pedals, manual transmission. But this is a 6-speed manual transmission, a GT3 transmission, short throw. So it's really an unbelievable driver. And they've got, just a tremendous engine and probably the best driver I've ever had.
So what kind of driver are you? Are pretty aggressive? Do you like to go up to red line before you shift?
I don't get to drive them as often as I would like, but this car, I believe it's an 8,000 red line or a 9,000 red line. It's a super high red line. I got to just check. But it really allows the driver to push. And when I do get out there, I push it because that's what this car's for. This is not, going to you can take it to the grocery store, although I don't recommend it. I recommend getting it out there and really driving it, because that's where I think you see the value and get the experience. Because this is, as I said, I think I'm on either 8 or 9 Porsches at this stage of my life, and the GT3 Touring with this engine and this gearbox and this setup is by far the best driver I've ever
So
owned.
does this setup then match your driving skills, or do you think this car is better than your driving
This
skills?
car's better than my driving skills, right?
Okay.
So I'm not a track guy. I've never been on the track in any of these cars, or personally, I'd like to. Hopefully I'll get a chance to. But yeah, this car is meant to be driven, and you can drive it, like a gentleman, or you can really, really, enjoy it. It's really up to, whatever use you want.
Talk about this GT3 Touring. It's a gorgeous color as well. You seem to be a real touring fan.
Yes, for sure. So this is a 2018 GT3 Touring, just like my other one. This is paint to sample Riviera Blue. I've had a couple different blues in my lifetime. I had a Tahoe Blue 3.6 Turbo, which was a fantastic car. I've had Mexico Blue twice. I had a 991.2 Carrera S 7-speed manual Mexico Blue, and a GT3 Mexico Blue recently. This is Riviera Blue, and this is my favorite blue of all of them. This is again, just a straight driver. This car's got the sofa seats, not the lightweight buckets, so a little bit more comfortable to get in and out of. And obviously, once you're in them, you're pretty much locked in as well, but not to the level of the lightweights. Yeah, this car is fantastic. I use this car the most in my collection.
So is this your daily then?
Right, so I don't drive this every day, but when I want to take out a sports car quickly, this is the one that I always go to. It's just, just very user-friendly, easy for me to grab. A couple of the cars are not as accessible. This one I just grab and I kind of go, and I really, really enjoy it. It's, again, it's a real beautiful ride, 6-speed manual transmission, just like we talked about with all the GT3 Tourings on manual only. And I love the color, and people love the color. And I got a lot of people saying, "Wow, what color is that? That's a great color." And it's just super fun car to drive, like everything else.
Have you done any enhancements then to this GT3?
This car is completely stock.
Okay.
There's nothing that's done to this car, and I'm going to leave it kind of completely stock. I just enjoy driving it. The color kind of speaks for itself. So it came initially when it came. It had a silver stripe. I had that removed.
On the side or
correct.
on the top? Okay.
On the side, yeah. They do like the Porsche stripes on the side.
Yeah. Okay.
This car had it. My Irish green car had it as well. I'm not a stripe guy. I know there's some people that love it.
The body lines don't look like they would support that.
Yeah,
it looks better clean.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think a lot of people have agreed with that. Some guys love it. I don't particularly. I didn't really want it. I wanted those clean lines. So yeah, this is the one that I use the most. Really, really love the color.
Now
really
the exhausts look a little bigger to me for some reason than the other GT3.
So the exhaust was done by the prior owner. There's a company, I think it's called GED or GEG. It's a company out in California. It's got an exhaust system, so it's right. So the car is completely stock other than the exhaust.
Okay.
It's got a really nice rumble. I didn't do that, so obviously it came that way. But I love it. It's really got a nice
So
tone.
you don't get the drone on the highway, but it gives you a nice tone around town.
Louder for sure, which I like, because if there's a knock on Porsche, it's exhaust notes. A lot of guys run to Sharkworks. They run to a variety of different companies to do aftermarket, and I totally get that, because if anyone has any complaint with a Porsche, it's just that it's such a great engine, and it's such a strong engine, such a quick car, but you want to hear it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So this Touring, you really hear it. My Speedster, you certainly hear it top down, and certainly on the other Touring as well, but this really gives you a serious rumble.
Is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I love this color on it. What color is this?
So this is paint to sample amethyst. As you can probably tell, I'm a paint to sample guy. Love the Porsche paint to sample program. I just find them super unique. They're obviously becoming a lot more common now in the 2022. It's paint to sample is now a little bit more opened up, or I should say a lot more opened up. So in the older Porsches, they're tougher to find, and I've always kind of wanted a paint to sample speedster. This is a 2019 in amethyst, paint to sample amethyst, which is like almost like an eggplant color, and it also gets darker at night. Really reacts well to the sun as far as getting lighter.
Yeah, it's beautiful color, and in all three of the cars, you're buying them. They're already owned cars, right?
Correct.
So you're not special ordering them or buying them new from the factory.
Right.
Is there a particular reason for that?
Not really. I have yet to order a brand new Porsche and spec it myself. I think at some point in time I will do that. But I kind of enjoy looking around, finding that rare car, jumping on it early, and making a deal. They're not easy to find, the paint to sample, and when they are out there, they are gone quickly. So I think the hunt is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then certainly, the purchase is even more fun, and the delivery day is always great. This particular car was in California at one point, came to me. I did a couple slight modifications. I added the Heritage gold badging throughout the car.
Okay.
Again, all OEM stuff. I thought with a color like this, I thought gold would really pop. So I did the badging on the side, and I did a badging in the rear.
Speedster, and then the Speedster back here.
Correct, exactly. This car has lightweight bucket seats also, just like my Irish Green.
Mm-hmm.
Again, very snug. Some will tell you they're tough to get in and out of, which is accurate. But once you're in, it's just a great experience. It really holds you in, and really nice feel.
And how special is this Speedster? Is it a numbered car?
It is, yes. So all Speedsters in the 991 generation are numbered cars. I've never owned a numbered car before. This is my first numbered Porsche. This one is 1232 out of 1948. So the entire generation, they only made 1,948 Speedsters, and this is 1232, which in the Porsche world and in the car collecting world, a numbered car is significant. It holds its value, it increases its value. These are, again, you're talking about a 6-speed manual gearbox, same gearbox as I have in the GT3 Tourings.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I've always wanted a numbered car. I've always wanted a Speedster. When I saw this, I jumped on it. This 991, as compared to the 997 Speedsters, is a manual gearbox. The 997 was PDK, and I think that held back a lot of enthusiasts. It's a great car, the 997, and nobody would,
Now, what about the engine difference between the Touring and the Speedster?
Same exact engines. So
how many horsepower?
I believe it's 500 horsepower, 4.0 liter. Somebody's got to fact check me on that. I spend more time in the driver's seat and away from the engine bay, but I'm pretty certain that's what we're talking about. And
well, with the top down,
yeah,
and the high RPMs you were talking about earlier, I mean, the sound of the engine just got to be it's beautiful. You turn the radio off and just enjoy the natural sounds around you.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is really an experience. This is a top-down car as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I put the top up if I maybe see rain or something like that, but if I never put the top up again, that'd be great, because this is really a top-down speedster. You know, it's a real driver's car.
So how does the top work? This flips up and then it comes out?
Right. So this is
so
actually
it's
a manual.
watertight.
Yeah. So you flip a button, and this kind of opens. It kind of comes all the way back. You manually put the roof on, and then it kind of catches. You hit the button again when you get back in. It catches. This clicks back down. So unlike the Targas that are really one button and it kind of does everything for you, you've got to jump out on this car and manually get involved in it. But I think that's like classic Porsche. I think that's like kind of part of the mystique of the Speedster.
Yeah.
It's the windshield. It's a lower windshield on the Speedsters compared to the GT3.
Same slant though, right? Or is
I think it's a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
It's a little more aggressive. So it's a little bit.
And you
lower.
get the black out here, which is cool.
Yeah. Yep. Car came, fully PPF'd and tinted windows and tinted windshield, which I've never had before, but it's nice.
Are all the Speedsters the center hub then on the wheels?
Everything's center lock here, correct?
Okay.
Yep.
And do you have ceramic brakes on this car?
This car has ceramic brakes, which are great. A lot of guys, some guys will tell you that for a track you want steel brakes. Some guys prefer ceramics. Ceramics was the big option. They call it PCCB. It's a big option from the factory.
Yeah.
Speedsters only came with ceramic brakes. The GT3 Tourings and the GT3 wing cars, you had an option. So my two Tourings have steel brakes. This car has ceramic brakes.
Do you notice a difference?
I don't really. Again, I'm not a track guy. I think if I was on the
It's
track,
more the heat buildup, right?
yeah, it's the heat buildup and the brake dust. Ceramic brakes do not produce a ton of brake dust, unlike steel rotors, which certainly do. I think the track guys could speak better to the difference. For my purposes and what I do with these cars, I don't really notice a whole lot. I think anyone that knows me, my friends and my family, I always say, I'm never selling this car. And then, of course, months later come, or maybe a year or two later goes, and I sell the car. I really, for the first time in a long time, in years, can say that I'm content with my collection. I don't foresee myself selling this car ever, the Speedster or the Irish Green Touring. We'll talk about the Riviera Blue, which is more of my driver, but my intention is to hold. We'll see what my
you
what my
certainly
execution
have a
looks
lot
like.
of land here, Brian, so you could put up another garage back here, right?
Yeah, we just cleared this area here, so we're certainly all the.
I mean,
all
once the
options.
kids grow up and that goes away, you could put like 4 garage doors right here.
Absolutely.
Brian, this has just been a fantastic day. Really enjoyed listening to you talk about each one of these cars, what makes them special to you. Each one of them has a really good story. Are these what you would classify as forever cars? Are you going to just keep them forever?
That's my intention. I appreciate you guys coming by. It's been a treat for me also to kind of walk through all these cars with you. This is my intention. My intention is to certainly keep all these cars. It's been a dream come true to have these Tourings and the Speedsters and all these wild colors that I love to paint to sample. So my answer is yes for that, but it's always subject to change.
Thank you very much. And Brian, I got your hat here that you gave me, so thank you very much.
Sure.
So I'm going to swap it out, give a little advertising to Brian and his firm. So there you go.
You got it.
So thanks, Brian. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys coming by.